Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Brunchstream. Happy to have you here on this beautiful Sunday. Well, I don't know. Looking out my window, it's not so beautiful. It was sunny earlier. Kind of gray and dismal now. How you doing, everybody? Yeah, that's right. I'm drinking coffee today. Back to my kind of coffee and a song days. So, a few... Hey, Tony. Few commercial announcements here. One, those of you who follow me on the Book of Face, I'm sure noticed that I made available some early recordings I did with my pals in the Meat Purveyors. This is kind of predates the Ice Cold Singles era, and the kind of backstory of this was kind of post after my time doing the dollar store project, and there was not only did I want to work with Bill and Pete and Joe and Sherilyn, but I had this concept that since gas in Chicago anyway was about $4 a gallon at the time, and Dollar Store would do these weekend runs of shows. And even though we got paid a decent amount of money by our standards, maybe anywhere between $300 and $500 a show, if we had to travel any distance at all in our gas-guzzling van, we would come back with no money. So I had this idea that not only would it be great to hang out with my pals in the Meat Purveyors and write and perform music with them, but that we could all travel around in a rental car that got good gas mileage and just throw the acoustic instruments in the trunk and not be saddled with the drum set and a big bass amp and all this business. And we did that for a while. Sherilyn ended up moving to Portland, so we did it bass-free when we, not free bass. We didn't free bass, kids. We did it bass-free. And so I've made all that we did a recording that basically I just threw up a website back in the day. This was 2009 that it was recorded, and worked with the concept that I've been working a lot with ever since, which is give the music away and ask for people to throw some money in the tip jar. So still doing that as we speak right now, as I speak anyway. You may not be speaking, I don't know. So that's what that stuff is. But it's all, it's on Bandcamp. It's on my site. You can download it or stream it from Bandcamp for free. So please enjoy that early stuff. I'm going to play some of it today, but I thought today I might bookend the show with George Jones songs. And this one is one that I did initially for my wine class where I would perform a song during each class or after each class. And it was a request from a old friend of mine, Cheryl Payne, who worked with me at Wax Trax Records in Chicago and now lives in her home city of Memphis. But she watches the show sometimes. But she requested this one. It's called Wine-Colored Roses. Today I got a long letter from one who still cares for me. She asked lots of questions, like would I call her sometime, and was I getting back on my feet. She asked if I had quit drinking, like I promised her long ago. The words wouldn't come when I called and she answered, oh, but I found say no. I sent her some wine-colored roses, the color of grapes on the vine. When she sees the wine-colored roses, they'll tell her I'm still on the wine. The roses will say I still love her, and their color will cause her to cry. 1,000 reasons to tell her I'm sorry, and 12 pretty flowers don't lie. I sent her some wine-colored roses, the color of grapes on the vine. When she sees the wine-colored roses, they'll tell her I'm still on the wine. I sent her some wine-colored roses. I meant to capo that up a fret. I can't quite hit that low note there. George can hit a whole lot of low notes that I'm not capable of, especially later in his career. Singers' voices get lower over time, and mine certainly has, but it hasn't reached the point that George was at my age. I'm going to play a request now. I see Bill Smith is with us. He requested that I play a few tunes, and I'm going to try and do the tunes he requested. This is also something I recently released, and I wrote this at the very beginning of the pandemic, and it's called Pandemic PSA, and I wrote it, as I explained when I released it, I wrote it so long ago that it was before the mask mandate existed. So maybe I'll add some imaginary backing vocals that talk about the mask in this, but it's not part of the instructions. But Pandemic PSA. These are trying times, it's true. It's hard to know just what to do, but together we'll make it through. If we just follow these simple rules. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. Try not to panic, stay in your place. Call up the doctor if you feel sick. Try to smile and don't be a dick. That last rule, it really needs to be said, but you won't hear it from some talking head on network TV or on cable news. Just sing the damn chorus, you know what to do. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. Wear a mask, wear a mask. Try not to panic, stay in your place. Wear a mask, wear a mask. Call up the doctor if you feel sick. Try to smile and don't be a dick. Everybody wash your hands, panic, stay in your place. Call up the doctor if you feel sick. Try to smile and don't be a dick. Yeah, try and smile and don't be a dick. There you have it. Pandemic PSA. So I'm not going to point fingers at which of the enablers took 8 months to record their part. I'm just going to say her initials are Tammany. It's okay. She doesn't do home recording like me and Jeff do all the time, so she needed some technical assistance, and she's also been going through a lot of family shit. So I am totally just kidding about that. All right, here's some of those songs off the very first recording session that I did with the Meat Purveyors. The band was called Deano and the Pervs at that time, and the idea was for people. It was spelled P-U-R-V. The idea was people were supposed to garner from that it was the Meat Purveyors. We decided, after a pretty short period of time, that it was a really stupid name, and that it was really lame to have to explain to someone why your band was called the Pervs. So eventually it became Ice Cold Singles, and then other people got folded into the band, like Tammany and Cindy Toth on bass and Cisco on drums. So it became the opposite of what I intended, which was this lightweight, transportable band. It became this 7-piece that basically ensured that we'd almost never play out of Austin ever, since everyone but Joe and I lives down there. Anyway, but this is from the earlier stripped down, no drums version of this. And this is called Working for the Devil. I wrote a lot of songs about working in the big warehouse wine shop called Sam's in Chicago, which I worked there for 5 or 6 years. And so they're not all about specific experiences there, but life going into that big store every day was a little strange, to say the least. And it's called Working for the Devil. I'm just skin and bones, and I'm trudging home. I'm a Holy Ghost, but you would never know. Yes, I'm a soaking rag. I'm done for the day. Just a wet paper bag that's standing in my way. And I'm not answering the devil. I'm not answering the devil when he calls. I'm not working for the devil. I'm not working for the devil anymore. Yeah, I've got nothing saved, but I've got plenty spent, and I am not the plum that's dancing in your head. Yeah, I'm calling in, using my one dime, sick but not insane. Yeah, dumb, but not this time. I'm not the devil. I'm not answering the devil when he calls. I'm not working for the devil. I'm not working for the devil anymore. Hey! Working for the Devil off of Happy Beginnings, the newly re-released version of the early Ramblin, Deano and Ice Cold Singles recordings, known as the Pervs back then. Here's another one called Safe Passage. Not sure what I was thinking about when I wrote this one. It was probably written 12 or 13 years ago. And I certainly didn't write very many literal lyrics back then, so interpret it how you like. I have no idea. It seems like a gesture of friendship towards a traveler. You can sleep on my floor anytime you come to town. I promise you safe passage. I'm keeping my mouth shut now. Things don't change much in the valley. We eat and drink just like we did before. You've already lost a fortune. Ask yourself, why pay more? And I rattle along, and I rattle the walls, and I make it through till payday. It must have been so crazy in your corner of the world. I guarantee a soft landing. I'm not so hopeless anymore. The sun sets on the hollow a little sooner than it does on the crest. You and I are nocturnal, but hey, it pays the rent. And I rattle along, and I rattle the walls, and I make it through till payday. And I rattle along, and I rattle the walls, and I make it through till payday. Safe Passage from Happy Beginnings by Deano, Ramblin' Deano, and the Pervs. Available on bandcamp.com for free. As usual, throw a few bones in the tip jar if you can. All right, here's another one from that. This one, you can find a YouTube video of us performing this at Yard Dog during South by Southwest. So it's, no, I don't think it's Box Store. I think it's another one. Anyway, you can find a video of Deano and the Pervs at Yard Dog. And there's a funny moment in it where I've talked about this on the show before. The Meat Purveyors had this collection of backhanded compliments that they would give bands that they were on the same bill with. Like the band gets off stage and you say, "Man, you've never sounded better," or "You look like you're having a lot of fun up there." And I inadvertently made one up that day. I was attempting to be self-deprecating and about my own musicianship, and I said I'd like to thank my friends in the Meat Purveyors for making me look semi-professional up here. Which is did not come off as intended. But you can see Bill sort of like cock his head, like, what? Anyway, this is called Box Store, and this is definitely inspired by my time at Sam's, and it's much more literal. There's a line in here that came from a woman that I worked with named Jenny Heim, who ran the Italian department there. Really sweet person and super knowledgeable, passionate about wine, and became a good friend while I was working there. And Sam's had this great people working there, but a really kind of continually messed up business structure that was, all these lame attempts to become more corporate than they were that just got in the way of everybody selling wine. But at one point, I asked Jenny, if you could do whatever it took to fix this place, what would you do? And and she said, I'd blow it up and start all over again. So there's a line, I would blow out all the walls and wake up feeling different every day. And that was inspired by Jenny's assessment of how to improve Sam's. Okay, Box Store. I work in a box store. I stand beside you on most days. I love the way you walk. I just can't stand the things you say. If I could fly so high and look down upon this place, I would blow out all the walls and wake up feeling different each day. I work in a box store, selling things nobody needs. I love the way you look. I just hate the way you look at me. If I could fly so high and look down upon this place, I would kill all the chatter and wake up feeling different each day. I work in a box store 300 days a year. I love the way you walk, just not when you're walking over me. If I could fly so high and look down upon this place, I know if I could fly that high, I'd be pulled down by my own weight. Yeah, I know if I could fly that high, I'd be pulled down by my own weight. The studio recording of that has hand claps and gospel style call and answer backing vocals, and Cheryl Lynn playing upright bass, and it's a recording I still like to listen to, and I can't say that about a lot of things that I've done. All right, I'm gonna do a couple more of Bill's requests. This one I've actually just rehearsed this yesterday with Joe. We're doing a private Zoom concert later today, and we're gonna play this, and she's gonna sing a verse on it and sing the harmonies and stuff off the very first Waco's album. And it's called Harm's Way. Well, I slipped out the back door as the ambulance arrived. I would have liked to told them my story, but I know I would have lied. So I pawned my sister's diamond ring and got on the Greyhound's back. I figured with a little leeway I might just get on track, and I'm just trying to stay out of harm's way. And I'm just trying to stay out of harm's way. Hey! By the time I got to Chicago, I thought I had something to sell. But the deal fell through as they always do. Say, la vie, what the hell? And every time I think of my baby working in that old coal mine, I feel so doggone guilty, I almost changed my mind. And I'm just trying to stay out of harm's way. And I'm just trying to stay out of harm's way. And I'm just trying to stay out of harm's way. And I'm just trying to stay out of harm's way. And I'm just trying to stay out of harm's way. And I'm just trying to stay out of harm's way. Hey, speaking of the Waco Brothers, we are going to do our annual Christmas show as a live stream from Lincoln Hall, not from Shuba's, but that's going to be on Saturday the 19th at 7 p.m. I don't have any details as to where you need to tune into that, but I would imagine if you go to the Shuba's Lincoln Hall website that the details are made pretty clear there. So we're going to do our best to recreate the fun and chaos that is our annual holiday show at Shuba's, albeit without a crowd. So, what are we going to do? So that's that. Maybe I'll make my third commercial announcement that I have noted here so I don't get to the end of the show and say, darn it, I forgot to do this. I don't know if y'all noticed this on Facebook the other day, but I have started a new blog on my website, and it's called Music I Like by People I've Met. And I didn't want to limit it to people I know because that might get a little bit too incestuous. But so I started the idea of start off with the idea of the blog. It's basically once a week I'm going to purchase somebody's album on Bandcamp, that some band or artist that is either a friend or an acquaintance, and I am going to kind of put it out there, tell you why I like it, and hope that you like it too, and hope that we can give a little love to some of my friends who are playing great music too. So so watch for that. I'll always post a link to it on Facebook to make sure that you know about it. But I guess it's going to end up, on Saturdays every week is when I will select and do that. But this week's was a band called the Service Industry, and among the players in the Service Industry are my pal Hunter Darby, who plays bass with me in TV White, and a bunch of other Austin folks that Joe introduced me to when I moved down there. The main songwriter is a guy named Mike McCoy, and he has a real knack for good pop rock songwriting. So check it out. I think you'll dig it. It's only $6 on Bandcamp. So, for not a lot of money, you could probably accumulate a whole lot of things to stream using the Bandcamp app and not have to be reliant on things like Spotify that don't pay anybody anything. So consider that. If you just kind of gradually build it up, like one album a week, before you know it, you'll have a year, you'll have 50 albums on there that you can stream. So you can also do things like a lot of sites like Bethany Thomas, who I've written about, a great singer who sings with John Langford in Four Lost Souls. She did a thing that inspired me to do the same with mine, where you can, for a very small amount, get an artist's entire catalog. So, her catalog, her entire catalog, and my entire catalog are $20 each. For $20 you get 8 things that I released. It's a similar large number for her. So that's one of the cool features that Bandcamp offers. So all right, here's another Bill request, title track of my latest album. Run it down in a Cadillac limo in the crown. The road will never die, just starts to lie. Kill the truth, leave truth for dead. Put a silver dollar right through truth's head. Rock and roll will never die, just starts to lie. There's no such thing as too much. There's no such thing as a pillar that can't be ground to dust. Part poetry and part science. Now we're half human, half small appliance. The architect sits in a darkened booth. Kill the truth. We hold the present, we kiss the past. We put the future in a full body cast. Made of broad sheets and an old punk's drool. Kill the truth. And there's no such thing as too much. silver dollar right through Truth's head. We missed our exit. We have no idea where we are. Kill the Truth. Screwed up the lyrics in the first part of that, but just switched them around a little bit. A little cut and paste. Bill asked me to play that song in honor of the Supreme Court decision to not hear Trump, the Texas Attorney General's case for Trump overturning the election. And shortly before I came on the air today, I was looking at my New York Times app on my phone and saw an interesting article that I didn't realize this was the procedure, but tomorrow the electoral votes will be tallied, and guess who is supposed to tally them and declare the winner? Mike Pence. So that puts him in a rather uncomfortable position, I think. So I think we're potentially in for some interesting drama tomorrow. All right. I'm going to play a few more that are, well, a couple more that are off that early Deano and the Perv stuff that I just released. And this is called Reality Blues. And reality TV was just becoming a big phenomenon, at that time. I mean, it started much earlier than 2008, 2009 when I wrote this. Most people, I seem to remember MTV's The Real World as the first example of reality TV. There were all sorts of things going on in terms of reality TV at the time that I wrote this. And the second verse has a line, you got me eating maggots and jumping off of tall buildings. And I was scratching my head going like, what was that show that I wrote that line about? What was that show? And then it finally dawned on me shortly before I clicked the start streaming button that it was called Fear Factor. And I can't remember the name of the guy who hosted it, but he was some sort of Scott Baio looking guy. Scott Baio, Tony Danza looking guy. That wasn't Scott Baio or Tony Danza. Anyway, and they would, Fear Factor, they would have, the contestants would have to do things like eat bugs and, jump off of tall buildings. So that was entertainment back in 2008, 2009. Reality Blues. You look like you need a dose of reality. You look like you need a dose of reality. But reality looks like nothing I've ever seen. You got me eating maggots, got me jumping off of tall buildings. You got me eating maggots, got me jumping off of tall buildings. I'm suffering from exposure to the real. Ooh, reality. Ooh, reality. Ooh, reality. You got me hitting all the high notes trying to prove I can sing. You got me hitting all the high notes trying to prove I can sing. America's dying to find out who wins. You got me looking at reality. You look like you need a dose of reality. Well, reality looks like nothing I've ever seen. Messed that one up a little bit, but reality looks like nothing I've ever seen, because one of the things I observed as this reality TV thing became a phenomenon was like nobody's lives are actually like what reality TV shows. So I'm not sure whose reality that it is, but we. Oh God, it was Joe Rowan, huh? Blech. Anyway, so yeah, and then little did I know we'd end up with a reality show president. So, all right. How did I miss? There it is. All right. Here's another one. This song is called "The Crawling Eye." The title came from I'd read that a technique that Bruce Springsteen would use to jumpstart his creative process would be to just take a title of a B movie and start writing lyrics based on whatever that inspired. And so Thunder Road, I believe, was the example that got used, which apparently is a B movie. And he just took that title and then it took him where it took him. And so this song's called "The Crawling Eye," and I just started doing a search for B movies, and that was one of the first things that came up. And I wrote this song about, an old friend who is kind of, looking at getting older and not being in a great relationship and getting herself into all sorts of odd situations, trying to pretend she was younger and than she was. And this is not judgmental at all. I certainly had my own foibles once I was between relationships and acted in a way that I was way too old and way too sensible to do. Anyway, Crawling Eye. Let's see. Let's see. That's how it goes. The crawling eye, it moves so slow, and yet it finds you wherever you go. Oh, dear friend, I'm tired of these feelings now. The creeping hand, you know it well. It's innocent as far as you can tell. Oh, dear friend, why am I here at this late hour? Look out, there's a train approaching, hurtling towards the white lights. Look out, there's a night encroaching, nothing's gonna be alright. You press yourself against the floor, anywhere the hand and the eye can crawl. Oh, dear friend, they'll steal everything you own. Oh, dear friend, they'll steal everything you own. Oh, dear friend. The Crawling Eye. Of course, all these songs that I'm playing are made lengthier and prettier by the wonderful accompaniment of of Bill Anderson on guitar and Peter Stiles on mandolin. So check the recordings out. Last of the Bill requests. I play this song a lot, but you know, if we look at these shows in the spirit of like a regular gig at a bar, as I often say, like I would play the same things a lot if I had a weekly gig at a bar or a weekly brunch gig at a restaurant. It wouldn't be a different set each week. And this is called Red State Girl. We met in one of them small town bars, so quaint it don't seem real. We bonded over whiskey, but tequila seals the deal. Though I lean lefty, and I don't just mean Frizzell, I'm in love with a red state girl. I'm in love with a red state girl. Blue must be the color of the blues, as George would say. And I'm living in a blue state if I don't see red every day. She's my little wingnut, and I'm her big snowflake. I'm in love with a red state girl. I'm in love with a red state girl. We don't watch the cable news, don't even get me started. We don't read the comment threads, we just end up broken hearted. In spite of our differences, we get along, it's not that hard. We both love our country with fiddle and steel guitar. And all the hate just disappears like bubbles in my beer. I'm in love with a red state girl. I'm in love with a red state girl. I really mean it. I'm in love with a red state girl. I didn't say redneck. I'm in love with a red state girl. my little voice changing quiver hitting that high note made me chuckle and hit the wrong chords. All right, I got just one more for you. We're going to wrap it up with George, bookend the show with George Jones. As I like to say when I introduce this song, Joe and I often return to this video. It must have been in some sort of film, this filmed segment of George and the band, the Jones Boys, playing this song, and the band starts playing, and during a non-vocal part of the performance, they pan to this old guy in the audience who goes, "That's George Jones." But the band looks really great. It's that era where Johnny Paycheck was playing bass and singing harmonies with George. And I don't remember the name of the guitarist he had at the time, but he's this sort of hipster-looking guy with kind of Bono sunglasses or Bono glass style glasses on, and a Rickenbacker, which you don't see a lot of Rickenbackers in country music. But anyway, this is called "Things Have Gone to Pieces." Oh, the faucet started dripping in the kitchen, and last night your picture fell down from the wall. Today the boss said, sorry, I can't use you anymore. And tonight the light bulb went out in the hall. Things have gone to pieces since you left me. Nothing turns out half right now, it seems. There ain't nothing in my pocket but 3 nickels and a dime, but I'm holding to the pieces of my dream. Somebody threw a baseball through my window, and the arm fell off my favorite chair again. The man, he came today, said he'd haul my things away if I didn't get my payments made by 10. Things have gone to pieces since you left me. Nothing turns out half right now, it seems. There ain't nothing in my pocket but 3 nickels and a dime, but I'm holding to the pieces of my dream. Things have gone to pieces. One of the things I like about that song is it kind of goes between comic images and really heartbreaking images. You know, I mean, somebody threw a baseball through my window and the arm fell off my favorite chair again is hard not to chuckle at. That doesn't make you exactly, want to break down in tears or anything. But then the man, he came today and said he'd haul my things away if I didn't get my payments made by 10 is pretty heartbreaking. So things have gone to pieces. Hey, thank you very much for joining me on the show today. As usual, it's great to see all your comments, all your emojis, all your input, and I'll be right back here on Thursday night for the Honky Tonk Happy Hour. And I thank you all for joining me. I thank you all for your tips and your merch and download purchases. It's really great. And I will look forward to seeing you when we next visit. As always, stay safe, stay sane, stay home, stay free, stay healthy, stay puff. And I will see you right back here soon. I love you all. Have a great Sunday. Bye-bye.